Hi everyone and welcome to Linger Longer with Books. My name's Catherine and in this week's video I'm going to be talking about Independent Bookshop Week 2024, which is taking place this week here in the UK and Ireland. At the weekend I was lucky enough to go to the brilliant Chapters Bookstore in Dublin, so I thought I would just take you along with me. Let's go take a look. So Chapters Bookstore in Dublin sits right in the heart of the city on Parnell Street, and it takes up a really special spot in the high street and has many people from across Ireland and further beyond like me going to have a look at the books it's got for sale in terms of secondhand titles as well as just published and newer titles. So I'm going to share with you just a handful of books that I bought on this particular visit. So first up, we have got Ramses Under the Western Acacia by Christian Jacques, and I have just started collecting the Ramses series, so I was chuffed to find this title. It is obviously quite a while ago it was published, but this one, it doesn't even look like it's been read. Let's have a look when it was published. Looks like late 90s. I have always been fascinated by ancient Egypt and Egyptian history, so I thought I would pick this series up to enjoy. So I technically own the first book and the last book in the series currently, but hopefully some shopping around will help change that. I picked up this copy, which I said is in brilliant condition, for £5.99. So yeah, I look forward to sort of sharing my thoughts with you all on that. Let me know if you have read any of the Christian Jacques Ramses stories, what your sort of feelings were on those. Oh, and the receipt's just fallen out. But yeah, that was my first buy. Next up was a book that I had seen online on the Chapters website. I hadn't quite realised until about a week ago that they list the second, you can do basically a really kind of extensive search, the books that they've got in stock in terms of pre-loved and new titles. So I stumbled across this one, can't remember quite how, in terms of non-fiction, and this is Murder by the Book, a sensational chapter in Victorian crime by Claire Harman. Never heard of this before now, but when I read the blurb online it immediately grabbed me, so I kind of took a screenshot on my phone and made sure that I kind of went to find it on the bookshelves. So this one is a little bit obviously real life, and it says, early on the morning of 6th of May 1840 on an ultra respectable Mayfair street, the elderly Lord William Russell was discovered in bed with his throat cut so deeply that the head was almost severed. It goes on to say, the murder, the investigation, the city's fevered fixation and the mores of the Victorian age are all brilliantly evoked in Claire Harman's spellbinding account of a surprisingly literary crime. So there we have it. I picked up this one, and again, this is in brilliant condition. It's barely a cracked spine, and I picked this up for £5.99, and all the prices that I'm giving are in euros, obviously, because I am talking about Ireland. So there you have it. There's that one as well. My third buy of the day is The Trauma Cleaner by Sarah Krasnostein. I'm really sorry if I've mispronounced that. I know undoubtedly have. I've heard brilliant things about this account, including my sister Rachel, who might appear in this video, so watch out and let me know if you see her. This is about a woman who sleeps among garbage she has not put out for 40 years. A man who bled quietly to death in his lounge room. A woman who lives with rats, random debris and terrified delusion. The still life of a home vacated by accidental overdose. Before she was a trauma cleaner, Sandra Pankhurst was many things. Husband and father, drag queen, sex reassignment patient, sex worker, businesswoman, trophy wife, ... Obviously that is going to be covering quite a few kind of topics, quite a few different themes. It is obviously completely unique to this account, but I will absolutely report back very soon once I've read it. And I don't think I've ever seen this sort of in secondhand shops, and especially this is quite a floppy paperback, and it seems like a trade paperback. It's slightly larger than normal paperbacks. So I picked this up for £8.99. Would have been nice if it had been a few cheaper, but it's in brilliant condition, because I had in my head sort of €5-6 a book would be really kind of nice. But anyway, I don't want to grumble. I don't want to sound like I'm moaning. So there you have it. This seems to be an Aussie edition. So yeah, there we go. That's the Trauma Cleaner. Again, let me know in the comments below if you've read it, what your thoughts were. Yeah, so there you go. There's that one. And last but not least is a book that I've had my eye on for a while, just trying to hunt down a decently priced new or like I said, secondhand copy. And I'll just reveal it and talk you through it. It's The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. Again, this was one title that I had seen on the Chapters website. So I quickly kind of reserved it through a click and collect option, which was great. It's obviously, like you can see, a hardback edition. It's brilliant. It doesn't even look like it's been read before. I'm not sure when this was published. I think a few recent years, but a few years ago, 2022. So this is the blurb on the inside jacket. I'll just read out. A true crime blogger gets more than she bargained for while interviewing the woman acquitted of 2 cold case slayings in this chilling new novel from the New York Times bestselling author of The Sundown Motel. So it sounds like, from a glance, it's set in the state of Oregon, and there is one part of it set in 1977, and then there is a chunk of it set in more recent times in 2017. So it's kind of got a dual timeline, crime at the heart of it. So I was absolutely chuffed to find this hardback, and that was the most I paid out of all of those 4 that I bought. That was $9.99. So if I do have a quick rough add up of what I spent, that's 10, 19 plus 6, that's 25 and 6, so 31 euros for these 4 titles, which I don't think is bad at all. I'm not quite sure the exchange rate is to UK sterling, but there we go. I was very happy with those 4. I picked up as many more again and put them down, which I'm going to give myself a bookish pat on the back for. But there you go. So yeah, obviously I've got two fiction and 2 non-fiction, which kind of sums up my reading sort of taste. I like swapping between fiction and non-fiction. If you've been here for previous videos, I often read a fiction title and then a non-fiction title, almost as like palette cleansers between the 2, because they obviously both offer a lot in their own rights. So there you have it. Let me know if you've read any of these, and what are we going to do for an emoji as a sign if you have. I'm just trying to think. Perhaps we could do a diamond in honor of the jewels and the gems of ancient Egypt and Ramses. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. But yeah, this is all in honor of Independent Bookshop Week in UK and Ireland at the moment. It's running from the 15th, which was Saturday, right through till the 22nd, which is this coming Saturday. I love supporting independent bookshops. I love visiting new ones. I love returning to my favourites. Chapters that we're talking about, when I visited at the end of last week on Friday, when I was overseeing some family in Dublin and the surrounding areas. That was my third visit. I love it every time. I come away with books every visit, which is never a bad thing in my mind. I also trade some books in. You can also take book titles there and you can kind of get store credit or cash for those. So if you're in the area and you know you're going, I would definitely recommend perhaps considering that, because it's just a really good way to kind of clear bookshelves and get money off. Essentially, in your head you can kind of categorize it as free books. So I guess one of these books I got free because of the store credit that I had. So it didn't quite cost me a true €31, but there you go. So there you have it. The 4 that I got from Chapters. Can't wait to return to Chapters when I'm next in Dublin city centre. But I highly recommend you taking a visit. I'll put the link to the website in the description to this video so you can have a look yourselves, and obviously across their social media feeds as well. But there you go. So before you go, I also thought that I would share with you 3 other books that I came home from Ireland with. I flew back last night. I didn't buy these, I was given these, but there's a quick story behind each one. So first up is Dead in the Water by Carola Dunn. My sister Rachel bought this for me from a secondhand a charity bookshop. Some of you might know that I am collecting the titles. I don't know if you can see them on my shelves. Yes, you can here, if I can point clearly. I'm collecting the whole series. So it's always a bit of fun just trying to seek out copies that I don't have, and this is immaculate. This hasn't been read, so thank you to Rachel for that one. She also knows that I'm a fan, and I've got several of Colm Tóibín's books. This is the Master. I haven't got this one. I loved Brooklyn. I've recently read Long Island. And The Master, I'm not even sure what this one's about. It sounds like in The Master, Colm Tóibín captures the exquisite anguish of a man who circulated in the grand parlours of palazzos of Europe, who was astonishingly vibrant and alive in his art, and yet whose attempts at intimacy inevitably failed him and those he tried to love. It's a powerful account of the hazards of putting the life of the mind before affairs of the heart. I was lucky enough to see Colm speak in a church in Bath a few weeks ago to celebrate the launch of Long Island, and I'm sure that this was referenced by him as well as audience members when they were asking him questions. So I am really intrigued to get to this one. This is obviously not in the sort of the vein of the Irish literary based fiction that I've just mentioned. This is a completely different setting and time, but yeah, I'm chuffed. And again, Rachel picked up this copy for me, so thanks, Rachel. And then this one is flipping back to non-fiction. I think this must have been a charity shop copy as well, but it is Rob Burrow, My Incredible Story, Too Many Reasons to Live, and this was the Sports Book Awards 2022 winner in association with the Sunday Times here in the UK. Some of you will be aware from UK news about Rob Burrow. He was a massive rugby league player, massive in terms of achievement and success and legacy, not massive in his height, which has been sort of widely acknowledged through his life and career. But tragically, Rob was diagnosed with motor neurone disease, I think in December 2019, and he died a few weeks ago now, having fought with and lived with MND in that time, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. But my sister mentioned this to me, and she said, no, you must read it. It's so much about his life and his legacy, and obviously the disease, but that isn't front and center of this account. So I came home with this copy as well. Rachel read it and really kind of admired the account and everything that kind of Rob's life rightly stands for in terms of not past tense but present tense, and all the great amazing fundraising he's done for the disease and what his legacy will still go on to achieve every day. So I'm going to have to be in the right kind of mood, if that's the word, to read this. It's going to be incredibly powerful and upsetting, I would imagine. But there you have it. That is the last book I came home with. So I did fib earlier. I said I came home with 4 books, but I came home with 7 in total. Just 4 that I bought and 3 that I was gifted. So there you go. There you have it. The books I came home from Dublin with. But yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Always appreciate your support. Please let me know that you're out there by sharing your thoughts on the video. Like I said, leave a gem or a jewel emoji to let me know that you've watched this far. Really appreciate you taking the time to do that. But yeah, thank you, and I hope you have a brilliant week of reading ahead of you, whether that's paperback, audiobook, hardback, however you absorb stories of any kind. Have a great one, and I shall see you next week, hopefully, for more insights and more bookish shenanigans. That's not easy to say. I think that's cue for me to stop. I'll sign off here, but take care and see you next week. Bye.